A tribute to Steve Jobs, in the words of Matthew Lemieux. I grew up using Macintosh computers. CEO of Apple was my very first what I want to be when I grow up. I remember desktop publishing on the family's LC2 as an elementary school student, printing things that defied what people thought was possible for an amateur. I remember LaserWriter, one of the first laser printers available for consumers. Ours worked until only a few years ago. I remember the colored gumdrop-shaped iMacs. My family had one, I have one, and I still have it 10 years later. It still runs, and it was my personal computer until only a few months ago, when I bought one of the new 27-inch iMacs. As a kid, I remember watching my dad use his Macintosh SE 1987 with the black and white screen. He would manage the bulletin board server for the Triangle Mac Users Group, TMUG. I remember going to TMUG meetings to see all the cool things that people were doing with their Macs. I remember System 6, System 7, System 8, and 9. I was an early adopter of Mac OS X. I remember when they finally took the Happy Macs icon out of the system startup. I can't tell you how satisfying it has been these past 15 years to see Apple and Jobs finally attain the success and recognition that they deserve. They have always gone the extra mile to make fantastic products. They didn't just try to make stuff and sell it. They changed the way we do things, and they changed the way we think. The company itself suffered from long succession of lackluster CEOs, but Steve's legacy persisted, as did the loyalty of Mac users like me and my father. When Jobs took the helm again, we knew we'd be in store for some great things. However, I never would have imagined the success that Apple Incorporated sees now. I can't tell you how many hours I've spent in front of my family's eMac notating music, especially for NC State and Athens Drive. I can't tell you how many times I've been inspired by Steve Jobs to pursue greatness, to make my mark on the world, to do and make things that are insanely great, rather than settling for what's merely acceptable. I can't tell you how much his genius and his legacy have helped me in my proudest achievements. From humble beginnings, he capitalized on his passion, creativity, and refusal to accept anything less than great, and in doing so changed the world. Most people are familiar with the Apple Incorporated of the past 10 years. For me, however, Apple has always been there. My entire life, since childhood, it has been an integral part of who I am and who I aim to be. I can't tell you how much it hurts to see Steve Jobs go at only 56 years old. It is a tragedy. I feel like I've lost someone very dear to me, but really, we've all lost something big here, whether or not we recognize it. Rest in peace, Steve Jobs.